Larry Fort Worth Memories Museum and Groups. I've not gotten a notification yet from YouTube. Yeah, there I am. Larry Fort Worth Memories Museum and Groups. That noise you hear in the background is the fan. Well, I'm going to have to do it the other way. Hold on and I'll kill that fan, because it is kind of loud. Let me get the video styled and I'll turn it off. Today is Thursday, March 27th. I want to tell everybody good morning. And we're going to share it to the regular internet and to memories and live videos. Let me turn that fan off. Oh. Okay, here we go. I think the rain's been called off for today, but now it's in for tomorrow and Saturday. I personally don't care. I don't want it to rain, but I know a bunch of y'all do. Monty's in, Brittany's in, George is in, Marilyn. Good morning to everybody. Gosh, and I hadn't figured out the lunch deal yet. I'll let everybody know when I do my first break. Don't know of a lot of stuff that's going on. I'm going to go to news break and see what they have to allow. You can go to that news break. They got about as good a news as the local ones. For me, signed, sealed, and delivered at $226.5 million. Fort Worth City Hall is open for business. Okay. Top late night restaurants in Fort Worth for after hours dining. You can go to Old South and eat 24/7. ATICO, ATICO, is open until 2 on Friday and Saturday. This rooftop spot offers more than just great views. Solid lineup of cocktails, Spanish tapas. Perfect place to cap off the night. What building are they in? I don't even know. I've never been there. I'm sure it's out of my price range. Buffalo Bros, that's our friend John Bunnell. They're open until 2 a.m. every night. Pizza by the slice and cold beer. Oh, wait a minute. I see now the address. 151 East 3rd Street. Still doesn't tell me much. Buffalo Bros is 2920 West 7th and 3054 South University Drive. Chimmy's, our friends at Chimmy's are open till midnight, Friday and Saturday. They're over there in that Foch Street deal. Well, it says they're at 2107 South University Drive. I guess they moved. Fat Shack, open till 2 a.m. Top rated snacks like mozzarella sticks, wings, loaded sandwiches. Old South, when the clock strikes 3 a.m. Yeah, it's 24/7. Paco's Mexican Cuisine, they are at 3000 West 7th. Let's see, I used to be at 2713 and then 2732 West 5th. So it's 2 blocks up, 3 blocks up. Poor Decisions, Pour. It's a bar. Second Rodeo Brewing, that's in the Stockyards. Son of a Baker Pizza, 150 West 8th Street. The Bearded Lady, Friday and Saturday night till midnight. The Social House, 3121 West 7th. Open till 2 Friday and Saturday. Topper's Pizza in TCU, Velvet Taco, they're good. Wicked Butcher, Fort Worth, that's I don't know what it is. 500 West 7th. So that's the lineup of the late night restaurants. Well, I'm not even going to get into it. Cowboys are reportedly negotiating blockbuster trade as we speak with Cleveland. They've had them in blockbuster trades with about 10 teams so far. Baker Mayfield, I hit rock bottom. Confirms marriage struggles and sends wife Emily defiant message. He's such a great quarterback. He and his wife got engaged just after 6 months of dating and married shortly after. They have a baby girl, Kova, Kova Jade. That's an interesting name. He had to take my career down to the studs and make me realize I'm more than a football player. It's about time, sir. They weren't ready, he says, for a child. That's not good for the child to read later in life. There's about 99% of you that you could put on the facade. Okay. I'm tired of reading about Baker. I thought he was a good guy. Maybe he is. He's bearing his soul, but sure, his wife, if they got problems after she reads that article, I guess they're going to have more. Don't forget the memorial of the honorable soldiers is over in Arlington. Tarrant County DA argues not all deaths in jail custody need an outside investigation. Okay. Robert De Niro's new crime movie just flopped at the box office. Super. Okay, we don't need to talk about that. Trump shreds lowlife Jasmine Crockett after she's made a comment about our governor. Says Michelle Obama's candid confessions about Queen Elizabeth II. That does good for foreign bolstering. See, this is all on Newsbreak. They got a lot of stuff. They got national, they got local. And all our political people are just fighting back and forth. And to hell with us, we're just the people. Here's an article about Manny. Let's see if they say anything. Tarrant County man is in custody, allegedly threatening Republican Tarrant County Commissioner Manny Ramirez. Dylan Lofton. Now that's no kin to Trent Lofton or Jerry Lofton, who's now passed. Lofton's bond has been set at $100,000. I'm surprised they didn't let him out for no bond. In February, the Tarrant County Commissioners Court beefed up security at its meetings. There's a metal detector, bag checks. Yeah, I mean, you can't do any. I've had death threats over posting prayer requests. One evening, this lunatic that was stalking me, he'd call and say, I'm going to be at your house in 20 minutes. Well, nothing ever happened. One day he said, I'm outside your door. Yeah, okay. Doorbell rang and somebody's beating on the door. One of my neighbors rides a motorcycle, so very active on the group. He knew that I'd been talking about it, and he saw an Azle cop the next block down or whatever, down there on Dunaway, and they came back up there and arrested the dude. I didn't have any proof. He would send messages on my lives, so they kept him in jail for, I don't know how long they kept him. But, our group is very large. I know the stuff that I say or post doesn't make everybody happy. I'm sorry. I try to stay neutral. It shows through that I'm conservative. There's no question. I don't register as a Republican. I register as an independent because I like some Democratic candidates for what they've done in the past. If you're a Fort Worth person and you're talking about the Democrats are no good, let me tell you something. When Mr. Carter was building this city and molding it, the entire state of Texas was Democratic. That's a fact. So you can say what you want to say. Of course, then people say, well, the Democratic Party today is not what it was back then. I agree with that. My good grandfather was a Democrat. Didn't matter what the other side did. Nobody could vote anyway. Can't vote if you're a felon or run for office. Okay, so yesterday I've had in the last month or so, ever since really we started doing the interviews with Rusty Arnold about the 3 missing girls. I've had off and on people say, Larry, could you get the group involved in cold case stuff? And yesterday, I talked with a lady and she came by here, and I decided it's time that we attempt to try to help. Everybody, Rusty Arnold himself said the police aren't doing a thing, they're ridiculous, yada, yada, yada. They only have one person that, well, I've been researching. There's 2 detectives that work in the cold case unit, and then they have a few part-time people that help. That's not enough, and I'm sure we don't have the money in the budget. So, since we are the largest social media group in 5 counties, I figured, somebody in our group might know something. So I decided to take on another project without y'all's consent, but I figured y'all would want to be involved. And if you don't have to be involved. But this is our community, Fort Worth and Tarrant County. That is our community. And our cold case unit needs our help, just like our police department, our fire department, all first responders, EMT, all of that. They always need our help. I think we're always short on officers about 1,000 people or something, or some astronomical figure. I don't know why anybody would want to be a police officer anyway. They don't pay you near about enough money to get killed. So anyway, we're going to start. I'm going to start. It'll take me 2 or 3 days to get. There's 1,000 cold cases. I kind of look at them. There's some that are. I'm trying to post now the most current ones from 2000 to 2020. That's where people might have memory or know something. You might not know that you know something. So I'm gonna post these things, and the ones that are getting the most responses, those will stay on top of the page. Ones that are not talked about or made comments, they will fall off, and they don't really go away, but they're buried then. So there's nothing we can do about that. So we're going to just get our feet dipped into the shallow part of the pool right now. And next week sometime, my plan is to reach out to the 2 detectives in the cold case unit and try to work hand in hand with them. And because we have the vehicle to reach a lot of people, more people than they can reach. And like I say, you might know something and you don't even know that you know something. So if you're familiar with individual cases, make a comment, or you might know something. Maybe you might know one part of the puzzle that somebody else says, hey, well, I know about that too. So let's help out our community, which is what this group is all about anyway. We help everybody that we can. We help the underprivileged, we help the kids, we help the elderly people. We need to help the police, the cold case unit, because these families are devastated. Take the Arnolds, the 3 missing girls. 2 days before Christmas in 1974, they go away and boom, they're no longer seen. We don't have a clue how that feels. So there's all kinds of podcasts that do a great job. Rusty Arnold's group does a great job, the Missing Trio. But one thing they don't have is the followers that we have. We just started doing that yesterday. We gained about 75 members yesterday. We're back up to over 131,000 active members on Memories. So, yeah. as we get more into it, we'll need to kind of break into groups. Some of y'all that have some free time, maybe y'all can go together and say, hey, we're interested in this case and this case, and y'all start talking, and if it's getting a lot of play on the group, then maybe y'all can start trying to put together some clues. But in any event, we're going to need some guidance from the 2 detectives that run the cold case unit, and probably from the chief or whoever. But we have the ability to help. These families, they will post, and they continually post about their missing loved ones or murdered loved ones that is unsolved. And there might be 100, 200 people go on it. We can post it, and there'll be thousands of people that'll see it. And it's watched at 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 7:30 in the morning. So we got a new project. Hope that sits well with everybody. And so I'm going to try to post, I'm posting them 4 at a time, and I'll try to get the most current ones first. Okay, another thing that for the sponsors, if you're a sponsor of Memories, you'll now be posted on X, TikTok, Instagram, and some LinkedIn besides Memories. So you're going to be on several platforms, and you're on YouTube with me. So we'll get together all of those different monikers, what it looks like. One of them is under, it's got my picture, but it's under Classic Auto Detail. One of them is just Larry O'Neill 48. I think that's Instagram. Or anyway, I'll get Scott to make all of the monikers, and you will be posted now on YouTube, Memories, Instagram, TikTok, and what else did I say? X. You'll be on 5 platforms besides the other 3 Facebook platforms, so you'll be on about 8 platforms. Probably, maybe 200,000 people possible to see it. Okay, I've just been sitting here rattling off. I'll let everybody know where we're eating it by noon. I got to see if there's any messages or questions, or is that me? Comments? Well, what TCU is lighting them up, weren't they? They had their 500th win at home. 9 comments, that's us. Brittany, Maryland, good morning, George. First day of Ranger opening is today? Wow. Dub is in, good morning. Aaron is in, good morning. Jean, good morning. I've the homeless people that I don't get down there on Sundays. I don't have $200 every week to stop at Jack in the Box. That's just the facts. When times were good, I actually stopped going before the end of the year. Dub is in, Gene is in. Now, Michael is my contact down there. In fact, he was by here in February. I gave him $100 to put on his prepaid phone. And he calls me from time to time. And there's lots of people that take food and stuff down there, but I just don't have, that's $800 a month. I can't do it. I keep trying to tell everybody, this museum cannot survive without donations. That's why I sell sponsorships. That money goes to help pay this $5,000 a month for the rent. $5,000. That's $60,000 a year. Okay, so we need help. Donations. Yeah, it's a lot of money. And it really, if I stopped at Brahms about every third trip or second or third trip, I would not go get Breakfast Jacks. I'd stop at Brahms and get those burritos. And so I finally figured out that it was cheaper to buy 5 for $8 or whatever. So the bill when I go to Brahms was about $230 or $225. And like I said, I can't afford it. We need more sponsors. So that's why I've expanded our reach under all these platforms. There's no possible way that any business or group or organization can reach as many people as they do with us for $1,500 a year. That's $125 a month, $4 a day. Thousands of people see you. If you're advertising in the newspaper, you're throwing your money away. Okay, so I hope y'all are on board with the... I saw some of the comments that y'all like the cold case deals. I saw some of the people that I went to school with that person. I knew that person. So all we're doing is we're providing a vehicle. We can get the message out quicker than the city can get any message out, I can assure you. I've always told the mayors, tell your entities, the police department, fire department, whatever, they're more than happy to post on memories. They don't have to have my permission. Because you can reach more people faster. During the COVID deal, Betsy did. They did. So we are involved in all that's just what our group does. We help. A loving, caring group. There ain't no rich people on here, no famous people on here. We're just good old Fort Worthians or Tarrant Countyans. And I'd love to post about different areas, missing people. We're going to have to confine it like we do on everything inside Tarrant County. If you're in Parker County, I mean, if I make an exception on one, then 10 other Parker County people will want to. I wished I could do it different, but we have another group called Fort Worth Unsolved Missing Cold Case Mysteries that there's about 17 or 18,000 people on. But that's not the reach that we've got here. What do we do? What now? If we know something, do we post it on the group? Like today, this morning, I'll post the numbers of the cold case detectives and their names. Right now, I mean, I don't know. You can probably say, I've got information. If it's solid, if it's, this is a serious deal. These families and friends and loved ones of these people that have been murdered, killed, or missing, this is no joke to them. This is serious business. They need closure. We can maybe help. If we just help get 1 or 2 cases done, there's no possible way that 2 detectives and 2 or 3 part-time officers can even begin to do 1,000 or more cold cases. Something else, the DNA test. Let's find out how much is the DNA test. I was researching it yesterday, and the Carla Walker deal, the way they caught that person was not just with DNA, it was some kind of old DNA, or there's another word they use, In other words, not solid, it's spotty or something, but this DNA research or search program they run it on, it kind of has got AI in it, and it fills in the blanks or something. So now there is a 501c that is a nonprofit that is not part of the Fort Worth Police Department. It's separate, but it supposedly funds everything to the cold case unit. So we need to check that group out and make sure there's no huge administration cost and stuff like that. So you can research, I guess we'll be online this year, Larry's Kids. 100% of the money goes to the kids. There is nobody drawing a check. There is no whatever. When we were deciding on a bank, several of the board members said, my bank wants to do it, my bank wants to do it. And I said, whoever writes the biggest check, that's the one that's going to get the account. So the only thing through the banking deal is the people that do the credit cards. And that's a separate from the bank, and they're out in New Mexico or something. So that credit card processing we pay for out of Larry's Kids, but the banking fees, they're all waived. Pinnacle Bank is the official bank for Larry's Kids. But everybody that works the events, transportation, whatever, Kyle and his group that have the buildings that we store bikes in and stuff, that's out of their pockets. To set up the 501c came out of pockets, not donations. So we need to check that that nonprofit that supports DNA tests and other things for the cold case unit. So we really need to, Brittany or somebody, y'all can start, use your search engine. Hey Ken, happy Thursday. Use your search engine and start researching the nonprofit that the money goes to, the cold case unit, Fort Worth Police Cold Case Unit. And so once we get up and running, by next week, I'm going to reach out to the two detectives and see if they'll come on the show. Maybe they can come on the show once a month and say, hey, here we've learned this. We need to find out about this. We need to work together as a community. I was kind of thinking, we've always used high school kids to move the inventory. Well, not always, but for the last 10 years. And for the last 6 or 7 years, it's been the All Saints kids. But that they work together as a unit, as a community. Hey, I'd love to go to the show, take her to the show or whatever. I got to help move the bikes for the giveaway. These kids are committed. So we just need to get on board, find a cause that can help. Just like I'm going to start also posting the nonprofits that help us, Cops for Kids. We need to support those guys. They give us 50 bikes every year. That's $5,000 out of their back pockets. Okay, Brittany. The fire department, I was talking to Manny the other day. They've had some changes. Homer Robertson retired, and then another one of the top retired, and so but they're on board with us. They're more than happy. They've been on board with us forever. And all of these businesses that bought 50 bikes, RLB, Tim Love, Sid Richardson Foundation, they bought more. Yeah, that's 50 bikes. And then some even more. So we just need to start supporting the people that support the stuff that we are interested in, because we need to be interested in it for our community. We've got a lot of homeless people. All of the candidates that I'm going to start interviewing starting this Saturday, you can bet your bottom dollar one of the questions is going to be about homeless, and another one, my pet peeve, is going to be about infrastructure, specifically roads. I mean, front end alignment shops have got to be making a fortune just off people trying to get their cars realigned. Some of these potholes are not just potholes. Hell, if you're driving a little bitty car with 13-inch wheels, you could possibly bust a tire in there. So we need to not put pressure, but let the people downtown know what we're talking about. And believe me, they're all on our group. They monitor memories. They want to know what we're talking about before we start talking about it. Let's start talking about our sponsors who, Mary Bridget made a post yesterday that we all need to start supporting them. We do. These people pay $1,500 a year, which goes straight into the operation of this museum. So, Yellow Snake Horses, Brazos River Ranch. It's about an hour's drive away from here. Millsap exit off of 20. Go horseback riding. Get back to country life. You wouldn't believe how much different it is than living in the city. You can ride about 2 hours for $75. I don't know where you can get that much entertainment. And you don't have to be an experienced horse person. Eric Walsh, he is on the board of Larry's Kids. He's in the real estate business. He's a good guy. Really a good guy. He used to be brother-in-laws with a guy that I really admired, John Green. John's been gone now for a long time, but he's looking down on us, I promise you. Great guy. Dub Peacock's company, A Bird, AC, and Heating. That's right, that's one of the Peacock boys, them Poly boys. They're famous. Burt Ladner. Boy, they got the music up over at the pickleball court. Burt Ladner Real Estate. I have several friends that work out of there. Wes Williams, who is on our board of Larry's Kids. Long time active in our giveaway. Wes and Sarah Williams are two of the finest people you'll ever meet. Dickey Carr Sand and Gravel. That's Pat and Richard Carr. When we made the bicycle giveaway a non-profit last year, they stepped up with a check for $5,000. Good job, Pat and Richard. Steve Coburn, Coburn's Catering. They've been in business since 1946 over on North Main. They cater any kind of party or event. Every year they're at the stock show. They do a lot of annual events, so doesn't matter how big or how small, call Steve Coburn, he can fix you up. Grateful for Your Trees, that is the company owned by Dickey Carr, who is Richard Carr's nephew. Dickey and his team, you can see there, landscaping, fencing, all types of haul-off, demolition, sells firewood, bobcat work. They do it all. Cut down trees, trim trees. If you got a stump, they take care of it too. You got to make that call. Fort Worth Lumber. They're down on the South Freeway. All building materials, plans, anything of that nature. Fort Worth Lumber is the place to go. They have been involved with my stuff, my group, the giveaways forever. Great folks. K Ranch Roofing. That's Jorge Hernandez is the owner. With all this high wind, I guarantee you a bunch of y'all don't know that you got roof damage, but you do. Don't try to get up there and you fall off your roof, you'll break your leg or worse. Call K Ranch Roofing. You'll get Bree. She is the office manager. She's the lady that sets up the appointments. She follows up on the work. She does a lot of great stuff. Call Bree. They'll get somebody out there, and there's no charge to tell you Either you got damage or you don't. Cross Electric, Brandon Cross. His company was nominated for one of DFW's favorites. They are electricians and they're dang good. So any electrical problems, call Cross Electric. Jenny Stewart. She is our State Farm insurance lady. She's also running for City Council District 9. If you don't have State Farm, if you got Allstate, Freeway, Farmers, whoever, call Jenny's team at State Farm. Get a quote. If you save 20 or 30 bucks a month, it adds up. Old South Pancake House, Rex Benson. Old South has been in the pancake house business since 1962. Way before Rex owned it. His daddy owned it. So the one on University, which is next to Rex's Bar and Grill, the Old South is open 24/7. The Old South in Burleson opens early and closes at 9 or 10 o'clock, whatever, at night. Great food. They've been around forever, since 1962. Optimist Club of Fort Worth. Jeff Norman was just sat down with us last Saturday. He told us all the great things that the Optimist Club does, and they're not just Fort Worth or Texas or U.S., they're all international. They're all over the world. Railhead Barbecue, Charlie Guerin. He's our state rep. He's also on the board of Larry's Kids. He is very active in that giveaway. He is passionate about it, thank God. And got a great restaurant too. His brother Pete runs the Sid Richardson Foundation, and they gave us $5,000 for the giveaway. And I'm sure that was because Charlie talked to him. Rains Plumbing. This is a family-owned business. Most all of our businesses are family-owned. They do all the plumbing stuff. So if you've got any plumbing issue, call Rains Plumbing. Those folks, it's a family-owned deal, and they really care about their name, their product, what they do, as do all of our sponsors. Okay, now a bunch of y'all are having problems with Medicare and Medicaid. How do I do this? How do I do that? Trying to use a search engine to figure it out. Don't do that. Call Casey Crawls Insurance Company. They are experts at it. They can tell you in the middle of the night, blindfolded. So get good information so you can make a good decision. That's what they are. They're pros. Rex's Bar and Grill. They are in the old Macaroni Grill business building. Same parking lot as Old South. The first two times I looked at it, I said, man, this is the fanciest sports bar I've been into in Fort Worth, maybe the state, hell, maybe the country. He's got a giant screen TV in there. The only other one I've seen bigger is the one at Texas Stadium, or Jerry's World. Swartz and Hanson, Jerry Swartz and his partner, long-time association with Fort Worth Memories as a sponsor and the bike giveaway. Stroud Auto Supply. Let me go down a little bit. Danny Stroud and his wife came over and sat down with me here several weeks ago. Great folks. You don't see very many auto supply businesses that are still around when you've got your AutoZone and all of them national brands. Don't use none of them. Go see Danny Stroud. They're over in the Haltom City, Riverside area. In fact, they address over on North Sylvania. I bought parts there when I was 16, so. Okay. Phelps Family Auto Care. They're in the Burleson area. Everybody in Burleson knows them. I promise you. These folks are very caring, like all of our sponsors. They go the extra mile. Mike Phelps and his family are great people, and all of their staff over there. G2 Garage, they're in the White Settlement area. Chris and his team over there are ready, willing, and able to take care of all your automotive needs. You got to make that phone call, and there's a special $25 off deal. Fort Worth Florist, Jeanette and her group of her team over there at Fort Worth Florist. You don't have to drive out on Camp Bowie. Just call 817-244-2345. They can send flyers to anywhere in the world. Hell, the way Elon Musk is opening up the space, you might be able to start sending them up to Mars or something. Who knows? Fort Worth Florist, call them. They're great. Be sure and tell them Larry sent you. Alpha Design and Build, that's Lance Sanders. They are remodelers, but they're more than that. They do residential and commercial. He can remodel a room, your whole house, or your business, your building, or he'll put a second story on it for you. Lance has got a great reputation in this area, all areas. There's Scott, our IT guru. He builds websites, consultation work. There's his email. Just message him and leave him your number and he'll call you. Winstead Paint and Body. I've been knowing the Winsteads and doing business with them 40 years. Clay and his group, his wife, she's there, and all of his mechanics and people that work there, they're on White Settlement Road, a block past Roberts Cutoff. Also, one of Clay's friends, Jason, at Tri-State Dent, is our new dent repair, paintless dent repair. Tri-State Dent. As soon as Scott gets his card up on this deal, Scott's been having some medical issues, we'll be able to post it. So the cold weather's kind of gone, but don't leave them dogs out when it's 100 degrees either. Now, y'all need to take care of your animals. You know, when we started inhabiting North America, the Indians, they only killed what they had to kill to eat. They were good stewards of the land. And then we got here. What a cluster that was. Okay, we're a worldwide group, organization. We're in 138 countries. I have not heard back from our Israelis in Tel Aviv. I talked to one of the go-betweens up in Staten Island, New York, and he and his wife told me they are getting messages from them. They think everybody's pretty much okay. So we need to keep everybody in our prayers. The good guys, the bad guys, everybody. Here's Old South again. Let's leave Jenny on the feed today. So the museum needs donations. What else? I'll let y'all know in 2 or 3 hours about the lunch. Oh, the people from Heim's Barbecue came in yesterday, brought me a photo, and the mother of one of the owners on the Heim's side, not the Churchill side, she said, "Boy, we'd love to have you out there and eat barbecue and talk Fort Worth history." I'm in. I told them they need to be a sponsor on our group. She said they're building a new one. There's 2 now, and I think they're building one in Weatherford or something. Baseball is back. How we miss Nolan Ryan. I'm serious about this cold case stuff. We're going to help out, see if we can't make a difference. With all the people that are in and out of our groups, somebody knows something about something. We never thought the Carla Walker case would be solved, and 40 years later it was. Okay, get your umbrellas ready tomorrow. I think it's supposed to rain on Saturday. Still got that settee for sale. Trying to make room for other stuff to come in here. Still have the tombstone. It's got a deal on it by Buck Taylor. He has cards, like playing cards, of all the main characters, Kurt Russell and all of them. Makes somebody's home or business a great addition, and it's signed on the back. Of course, it's made out to me because I bought it. I got a bunch of Buck Taylor originals. Trying to think what else. I'm going to need to talk to Dub Peacock, I guess. That little old unit we've got over here. Dub, if you're still listening, come by. When you're by someday, maybe you run across something to help keep this museum cooler. Because that thing don't put out enough. We've got one of those porta coolers that's old and it doesn't help much. Makes a lot of noise. Maybe you might have some ideas for a broke museum. Because it gets pretty dang hot. Okay, my motto every day is to try to help somebody that I don't even know, and I've already done that today. I had to stop and fill up that $157 today to fill up old Red. And a lady and her two grandchildren were there, and it was a Lexus. It was an older Lexus, and I heard it clicking. I didn't want to look like a fool and walked out, so I waited. She got out and she was looking underneath in the front. I'm thinking, you got to release it inside. And I said, ma'am, maybe I can help. My name's Larry O'Neill. And she said, I see you on Facebook. You're wearing that crazy hat. I said, yes, ma'am. And her battery cable was just, well, it was corroded to start with. So I went inside and got a can of Coca-Cola, and not a can, a cup, and poured it on there because I didn't have one of those terminal cleaners. But it was just so loose it was not making connection, and we got her fixed. So I done my good deed today. And not going to say, didn't want her name mentioned, but it was an honor to be able to help you. And that's what we all need to do, is start helping each other. And we'll live in a whole lot better place instead of everybody fighting, calling each other names. The other day on that post about the antique mall, people calling people commies and stuff like that, I gave everybody a warning. I will. If you cuss on our group, you'll be gone and you don't get to come back. No, I'm sorry, Larry's. You're gone. So I guess that's about it. I've talked for about an hour. We are working through details now that the weather's clear. We've got a huge backlog of folks that we need to get caught up on and get their details done. So please continue to work with us. Help is coming. There might be a little progress in the Rosie deal. She's kind of coming around to the realization that if she comes to work over here, it's only going to be her, not the kids. And because it's a business, it's a work, it's a job. So I'll keep you all advised. I can bring somebody up from San Antonio. I'd rather use Rosie, but right now I've got two part-timers that are helping me. One is at one of the new car stores we do work for, and one is another lady that she has to leave early to do kids stuff, but she helps 3 or 4 hours a day. So we will get through all of that. If you've got any, when you're doing your spring cleaning and you got old photographs or anything old that you think might be good for the museum, we take all of it. Don't throw it away, or if you leave it in a chute, if you got old pictures that your parents took, 50 years old or whatever, and they're in a shoebox or a box in your closet, when you're gone, I can tell you where they're going: in the dumpster. The youth is just not that interested in our history, and that's a shame. And we brought that on ourselves. Learned learning is what I call it. When I grew up, we had history about Fort Worth. I don't think there's any history about Fort Worth now. Might not be any history about anything. Thank y'all for being patient. Love each and every one of you. This thing of ours will always continue on. I'm trying to figure out somebody that I can get to step in if and when I'll never step down. If you don't see me one day, you'll know I'm either in the hospital or I died. Because I don't have to be mobile to even do this. Okay, I'm going to run down the highway and get things rolling. Y'all stay safe today.